This is Brandon with Fleet Feet, and today I'm going to be giving you my first impressions of the all-new super trainer from HOKA, the HOKA Skyward X. Right off the bat, this shoe comes in at $225, and HOKA is positioning it as their max cushion everyday daily trainer, which in reality just means super trainer. What's a super trainer, you ask? Well, it's a shoe made for, you guessed it, training, but also has all of the premium technologies that go into a race day shoe. HOKA is saying that this shoe is for the core runner who's looking to maximize efficiency in their miles when they're running. A lot of what HOKA produces across the board in all of their shoes creates quite an efficient or maximized ride already. So what makes this shoe any different than any of those shoes? To answer the question of why HOKA thinks that this shoe is maximized in its efficiency over other shoes in their line, we have to start by breaking down the shoe. For the HOKA Skyward X, HOKA has decided to go with a knit upper. I found that personally this upper was very snug, it fit narrow, it was great for locking down, and I had really no issues when it came to cornering. I personally love the upper. I felt it was quite breathable as well, so when I was out running, I had no issues there. I enjoy a little bit of a tighter and more narrow fit, so it worked really great for me. However, if you're someone who has a wider foot, or you are someone who generally likes a little bit more room in their shoes, it might be good for you to try the shoe on before purchasing it. Moving down to the midsole, there is a lot going on here. So there's actually a Peba midsole foam that runs through the shoe, and you can actually tell that's the red foam right here. And then it has this plate, which is a convex carbon fiber plate that runs through the shoe, and it bows outward. I'll explain what all of this means in a minute. And then they have a supercritical EVA foam on the bottom here, which is this red and blue flare, as well as this white that you can see here at the bottom. So basically what we have here is a convex carbon fiber plate sandwiched between a midsole foam that goes through the top of the shoe and a supercritical EVA on the bottom. Overall, I felt that the ride of this shoe was not super fast, but it was very bouncy and a ton of fun. It is also very soft underfoot, especially with having a carbon fiber plate in it. The supercritical foam and the Peba midsoles both work really well together, so overall, I enjoyed the ride and I was absolutely loving the miles that I was putting in. I want to talk a little bit about the convex carbon fiber plate. Convex just means that the carbon fiber plate bows outward. Now, the carbon fiber plate is actually somewhat H-shaped, so it has two rods that go just down the sides of each of the shoe here, and then it has these two black slits that connect the shoe. So it's kind of like an H, but with two diagonal pieces that connect it. And the carbon fiber plate is convex, which means that it is bowed outward. So what does that mean? That when you're running and your foot is actually pressing down on the plate is then propulsively bringing you back up. So it's kind of like the plate is this weird U shape. And then when your foot comes down on it, it compresses inward and then pops you back out. This is pretty similar to a different type of technology that we've seen in another super trainer shoe. And this is pretty similar to the fuel cell energy arc technology that you see from New Balance. New Balance also has a convex carbon fiber plate that bows outward, and then when you press down on it, it propulses you forward. While this technology isn't that original, I will say that it works quite well. And I commend HOKA for their innovation on being able to try different types of plates and plate shapes and different types of geometries for their midsole to try and create a different and a more dynamic ride when running through the shoe. This super trainer category is starting to get very competitive, and I think that the HOKA Skyward really fits in line with a lot of the other super trainers in its field. A shoe that I would compare this one to is the New Balance SC Trainer V1, probably more so than the V2 because of the fact that there's just so much more stack on this HOKA shoe than the other one. This shoe will also compete with the Super Blast and the Prime X Strung 2, probably closer to the Prime X Strung because of its weight. The Super Blast just sort of wins out, I think, as like a bit of a lighter option out of all of these shoes. However, I will say, just from my first impressions running in this shoe, it is a ton of fun. It's very bouncy. The upper fits very well. I had had no issues with just having a fun and relaxed and smooth ride underfoot. I probably wouldn't use this shoe for any faster or up-tempo miles, but if you're just looking for something that is best for long run days or just for easy runs, then I think that this shoe would do it for you. I'm excited to get more miles in this shoe. I'm interested to see how well this shoe holds up over the longer distances and after 200 or 300 more miles in this shoe. As of right now, this is a green light in my book, and I've really enjoyed running in it, so I want to continue to get the miles in. I'm really interested to just put in more and more miles to just see how this shoe rides, even into the longer distances, say into like a 14 or 15 miler. These are just my first impressions of the shoe, though the rest of the team is reviewing this shoe and testing it, and will be able to share their thoughts on the blog as well as a full review on YouTube. Overall, I think this is a fun shoe. I think it's a great shoe, and I think that it's a good step for HOKA, and I think that they're moving in the right direction with their super trainers, and I think this is a great first stab at what a super trainer should be from HOKA. If you want to hear more in-depth reviews about other super trainers or other max cushion daily trainer options from HOKA or any of the other brands, make sure to check those out on the blog or on our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on Strava or Instagram or any of the other social media platforms that we're on, and we'll be sure to get back to you with any questions that you might have. Just make sure to drop them in the comments below.